Welcome to the WUG, guys. The WUG Podcast is about that feeling you get in business and life where you have no fear, no doubt, you can't fail. Welcome, guys, to the WUG Podcast. So Derrik has already read my notes for episode 6 of the WUG Podcast, guys. This is Derrik Lang, senior editor of American Way magazine. Derrik, thank you very much for being on the podcast, but at the same time, I don't care if you're on the podcast or not.
Okay, well, this has been great. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. So you and I, before this podcast, we're friends, right? We have actually never done business together.
No?
Right. So before this podcast, we basically challenged each other at who was going to be better.
Who was going to be better at the podcast?
Yeah, in this interview.
Oh. Well, see, the thing is normally I'm on the other side of the equation.
I understand that.
I'm already at a disadvantage here.
Oh, okay. So you're going to play that card.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
played it.
You played it?
Now what?
Okay, now I'm going to go with straight gratitude. I've learned a lot from you, but I'd like to talk about the way that we actually met, which is hilarious. And it actually pertains to what this podcast is about. So we were sitting in first class on the way to New Orleans, and I was...
In an airplane.
In an airplane.
Yep.
Normally, when you're in first class, you're in an airplane.
You could be on a train as well.
Can you really?
Yeah.
You've been on a train, first class?
Yeah, not to brag, but
Not to brag, but yes. And man, I'll tell you what, I was in that zone. I had just come off the phone, I just closed the deal, and I'm sitting across from you, and I forgot what I saw, but I saw something. I think it was your laptop, and I think I kind of snooped over, and I saw something about I don't know, American Airlines, American Way, something like that. And I was like, I got to start talking to this guy. So I want to hear your version of it.
Yeah, this is a totally different story.
I know, but...
Am I on the same plane as this guy? No, I was listening to podcasts because I love podcasts.
That's a great thing.
And I was sitting, it was a 1-2 configuration, so I was sitting next to like a flight attendant who was off duty. And you were trying to get both of our attention after we had all sort of ordered drinks, I think. And I just wanted to listen to my podcast. I'm just kind of in my zone, which is introspective, kind of thinking about things. I don't remember what I was listening to. And then across me was this redheaded guy who just wanted to chat.
You forgot about handsome, redheaded guy.
Well, but it was you, is what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, and I don't know if you remember, but I kept trying to put my earbuds
Yeah,
on.
no, I remember.
I
remember.
And this is why you got my attention, is that you were very persistent, and you were like, no, bro, we're going to sit on this flight, and we're going to chat the whole time. Meanwhile, the flight attendant next to me had, pieced out and had completely, gone away. And then we just sort of talked for the 2-hour flight or whatever it was.
And then what happened?
And then New Orleans happened.
And then New Orleans happened, which, by the way, all our listeners, New Orleans just happens. The second you land, you're in a different zone. Yeah, you're definitely not in the WUG.
But no, you had won me over so much so that I was at a party later that night, and somebody was like, "Oh, if you know anybody that wants to come, just tell them." It was a huge party, part of Tales of the Cocktails, this sort of event that goes on every year where bartenders from around the world compete and show off new drinks. And I was like, I should invite that guy from the plane. I bet he would really love this party. And I emailed you, and you were like, dude, I'm there. What's the address? I'm going over right now. Where am I going? And it just...
And that's not my personality. That's not my... It really isn't.
Okay.
But everyone who knows me knows that is not my personality. I am. I'm shy. I'm nervous. I start the day very nervous. But I've been able to identify this zone. And that's what this podcast is about. And you had explained to me before we got on that I need to explain more about what this is.
Yeah, it's the name itself.
You hate the name, I know.
I hate the name.
Yeah, it's fine.
I hate the name.
That's fine.
It's kind of catchy. But I don't really understand what it's supposed to mean. I don't think the abbreviation really works. I just think there's something, you could have workshopped it a little more, come up with something else. But I mean, this is what, episode 6?
Episode 6.
So, I mean, the train has left the station.
It absolutely has. And you know what's special about episode 6 is that behind my left shoulder, my father is behind my left shoulder.
I see him.
You see him? Handsome man. And my dad has always talked to me about being in sales, right? And how difficult it is for certain personalities, right? And for me, I'm nervous as hell all the time. And people don't see that, right? Because I, don't show that. But I've identified a kind of, I would almost say like a trance or a zone where I can't lose. I'm super confident. I'm not going to lose. I won't lose. I'm super persistent, as you know. And I won't stop until I win, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what the WUG is about, right? And what I figured, not what I figured, what I found, because obviously I'm on episode 6 of podcasting, but CEO Matt Caldwell, Matt Lamar, all of them had different answers to what the WUG was for them. So what I'm interested in is a guy like you, who I completely respect as far as your craft, 100%, because I've probably tried to sell you a million things since we've been friends. What, 1 million, 2 million, something like that? Like ideas, clients?
Sure.
Yeah. But you stick to your integrity in your craft, and I want to know what gets you in that zone when you're interviewing Mark Hamill or Kristen Bell. And by the way, we're going to get back to her because when you told me about that, I kind of lost my mind. Yeah, what gets you in that zone? Are you a nervous guy? Are you a completely confident guy? Who is Derrik Lang?
Well, at my core, I'm a journalist, and I think that's where my integrity comes from, is I just am interested in telling stories and finding out the truth about whatever I'm writing about or editing. And so for me, that's when I'm in the zone, is when I'm getting at the truth, whether it's through research, talking to a celebrity, really breaking down the walls, building up a rapport with them, and being able to just find out what makes them tick.
But is that methodical, or is that more just, it's going to happen no matter what, I don't care what the person across from me says?
No, I mean, there's always challenges, right? There's always obstacles and barriers you have to overcome. It doesn't. Determination is not the only route to success, right? So,
I disagree.
You think so?
I think so, 100%.
I think strategy plays a part in it.
I think you might just be smarter than me. That's fine.
Well, yeah, probably. But I mean, intelligence plays a part in it. Strategy plays a part in it. I think you kind of have to formulate what you're going to do and what your sort of goal is in those sorts of situations.
You ever pushed your way through to an opportunity?
Have I ever?
Have you ever?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
All the time.
My whole life, yeah.
Yeah, your whole life, right?
Totally.
So you're telling me when you pushed your way through to that opportunity, that was based on methodical strategy, or were you just like, I'm going to get this job no matter what. I don't care what they say.
I mean, it's a combination of all those things, right? It's not black or white.
It's black or white.
Thing. No, it's all of
It's
those
black
things
or white.
together. No way.
It's absolutely black or white. You either got it or you didn't. Did you get it?
There are probably lots of people who are very determined, maybe more than me, that haven't been able to achieve the same successes that I have, interviews with celebrities, certain stories or whatever.
That's a really cute answer.
But that's not, but
it's cute.
It's true.
It's cute.
It's true. You've got to have more than
it's
determination.
Cute.
You've got to
see, but I've seen you talk to me about the Mark Hamill interview, right? And about how that interview was very interesting to you.
Right, because he opened the doors to his house and let us do a photo shoot there.
I mean, absolutely.
Right.
So you're telling me that interview was 100% methodical?
No, nothing is 100%. I'm saying it's like 25% this, 25% that.
No, it's yes or no. It's black or white. And did you kill that interview? Because I heard from a million people that you did.
Yeah, it was definitely one of our most popular issues.
So it's yes or no. So it was a yes.
Yeah, I mean, determination was definitely part of it.
That's it.
Because we wanted somebody from Star Wars on the cover of the December issue.
And you got it.
Film, and we got
which means yes.
We got Luke Skywalker.
Right.
So it doesn't get better than
And
that.
you're telling me you were not in the WUG during any part of that process?
Yeah, yes, I was in the WUG.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Whatever the WUG is.
Yes, whatever the WUG is.
No, I like the idea.
Sorry,
of the
Camilla.
WUG.
I just absolutely slammed on the table a bunch. Apparently,
yeah.
apparently that's like a bad thing
That's
to
very
do.
bad to
Yeah,
do.
it's not. I'm sorry. I'm a rookie at this.
But yeah, I mean, I appreciate the idea of the WUG. It's just the branding itself that I have issues with.
Really, you're
I love
sitting
the-
across from an advertising agency guy talking about the branding of my podcast.
You asked.
Wonderful answer. Absolutely wonderful answer. All right, let's go on to other things. I want to talk about Kristen Bell because it's Kristen Bell.
Yeah, our September cover.
What was that like? Hit me straight, man, because I think she is one of the most adorable, charming. She seems humble, but is that that could be BS? But don't give me a vanity answer. Yeah. Give it to me straight. Is she what it looks like?
Yes, but here's what I want to say was most interesting about interviewing Kristen Bell, who I have interviewed before. So I covered entertainment, as you know, for like 12 years at the Associated Press. I've interviewed.
I know how
celebrities.
impressive you are.
But no, why I'm saying that is because I've interviewed a lot of people in the entertainment industry, and Kristen Bell did something that very few of them could do, and that was disarm me with how humble she was, how real she was, how genuine she was. I'm not used to that. I'm used to having to kind of break down some of these walls to kind of, get at the story, get past the sort of canned PR answers that celebrities often have ready when they're promoting something. And with Kristen Bell, from the jump, it was just cool woman, mother of two, wife of Dax Shepard, and happens to be Veronica Mars.
I love the fact that she's married to Dax Shepard.
Yeah,
because he's funny.
Was so open, way more than you read in the story in the September issue.
All right,
about their
feed
marriage
it. Feed it. Come on.
She was just real about like.
No. Feed it. Like, give me the real thing.
Well, I just think her approach to solving problems in their marriage is like super refreshing because they confront them head on. So if she is upset with him that he's working too much, if they're not having sex enough, they talk about it right there and deal with it and solve it as quickly as possible. And it was just kind of refreshing to hear somebody.
Yeah, that would be refreshing.
About their
because you're good at marriage and I'm bad at marriage. So we.
If we're judging
by statistics, yeah. All right, so Derrik Lang. LA Times, USA Today, Chicago Tribune, Washington Post, Entertainment Weekly, worked for the AP for 12 years. All of that, guess what that means to me?
Ad sales dollars? I don't know.
It means nothing.
Okay.
What I want to know from you is what makes you so driven, every time I talk to you, you're like, hey, this opportunity popped up. I'm considering this one. I'm considering that one. Your mind doesn't stop, and then your drive towards keeping your integrity as a journalist is larger than I've seen.
Yeah.
And I've dealt with a lot of journalists. What does that?
I don't know. I think maybe it's kind of cliche, but I come from somewhat humble beginnings.
You're really going to go with the humble beginning story? Really?
Home and,
all right.
I just don't
I might have to pivot to like talking to your staff that one night.
I just don't take things for granted. And look, this is an awesome job that I have. There's so many amazing opportunities that are possible, and so I just want to go for everything that I can. And
I'm going to say that I hate that answer. Because I don't think it's true, man. Because I know you. I know that.
What do you think it is? Since we're friends and you know me, what do you think drives me?
I think there's something inside of you that refuses to be like all the other journalists. That's what I think. Refuses, absolutely refuses. Will not take one slight of integrity slip, right?
Yeah, no, totally. I mean,
but that's not normal in your industry. I know because I'm an ad guy, and
well, especially
my job as an ad guy is to break you guys.
Especially now in like the era of fake news, like authenticity is so rare to find now.
I completely agree.
And that's why journalism is really important, and that's why integrity is really important, and just the truth in general is really important. A lot of people have lost sight of that because we live in an age where you can just put a filter on a picture and make it look better, or only tweet good things.
Well, you and I are the same kind of guys who look at the pictures before they post, and we mess with them.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You have to. But you also have to understand that there's a reality behind that picture, and there's something that happened before and after the picture, the truth. And so you have to just sort of search for that.
All right, so I did want to talk about one night where one of your staff members got angry at me.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're bringing this
I'm bringing this up. I was having the best day of my life. We won't talk about why, right? But I was having one of the best days of my life, and I came in. You invited me to cocktails, happy hour, whatever. And I came in, and I was cocky and arrogant and not myself, but I was kind of riding a cloud, right? And one of your staff kind of called me out on it, right?
Okay.
And that was cool.
No, it was not cool. It was not a cool situation.
I want to know.
Cool is not of the first 100 words I would use to describe that situation. Cool would not be one of them.
I thought it was cool.
Okay.
Because here I am, I'm flying, I've just accomplished something that I've pushed so hard for, and here's someone doubting my resolve. And I thought it was interesting because I couldn't handle it, right? Obviously. I mean, you were there, right? I wouldn't take no for an answer or whatever. I would like to know, what do you think, as far as the WUG is concerned, how does that operate in me, as well as you know me?
Well, if we're talking about that specific example and what I think is the best facet of that, it wasn't that situation itself, because obviously things were being handled poorly, right?
But hey, let's talk about it. We hugged it out, didn't we?
But that's what I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
Is that when the next time you saw this person, you were able to swallow your pride, apologize.
She was too.
And be very genuine about it. Both of you were.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
And that's important, because it's so easy to just burn bridges and not look back, right? And you didn't really have to apologize.
No, I didn't.
Have to resolve this.
No, I actually did it just for you because we're friends.
Wait, so it wasn't a genuine apology?
Not at all.
Oh, well, then I take it off.
I'm just kidding. So I want to know from someone who knows me very well, right? We've gotten close. We've traveled together. You and I know each other well. What is the WUG in me?
I mean, you say that you're shy, but I think that your charisma is whatever the WUG is in you.
How do you still not know what the WUG is? I mean, how long have we been on, Camilla?
I'm gonna
20 minutes? 20 minutes?
I'm gonna
You know what? I would like to stop for a second and see if he's willing to do it. And my guess is no.
Okay.
All right. Dad, you willing to jump in on camera?
No.
Dad says no. Okay. So
Dad's gonna wait till episode 20.
I'll get him on, but he says no. Because my dad knows what the WUG is. I promise you.
So my answer, I think, determination, yes, all of those things, but I think charisma is really important, and I think you probably discount it in yourself, but I think it's part of your brand. I think it's very important, and I think you've achieved a lot of successes because you are a charismatic guy.
So charisma.
I think it's part of it. I think it's, if you want somebody from the outside to shine some light on what the WUG.
Kind of like brush my ego a little bit.
No. Well,
yeah.
I'm not saying you're handsome. You started the podcast off.
I am a handsome man. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
But charismatic, definitely. Yes.
I would say that what's interesting is that charisma is what the WUG is in me, and integrity is what the WUG is in you. And that's interesting. Presence was what the WUG was in Madeline Marr. Tenacity was what the WUG was in Matt Caldwell. I mean, this is a very interesting topic to me.
Yeah. And that's going back to what I was saying before, is that I don't think it's one thing for any one person.
I don't think so either.
It can be multifaceted.
I don't think so either.
Infinity Gauntlet and Avengers. Like, you got to have all of those stones in there to take over the universe.
Got you. Camilla, how much time do we have?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. All right. I know. I love this. What is your favorite Chris Corey story? And then I'm going to shoot back, and then you shoot the same question back.
One that is suitable for the air?
Yes, please.
I don't know if I have.
Remember, I have two ex-wives.
I know you have 2 ex-wives, and your dad is sitting over there.
Hey,
so
don't worry about Dad. Dad knows
Let
everything.
me think of a. No, I mean, I think the best time that we've had so far is when we went to the Bahamas to explore
That was amazing.
this resort that was clearly intended for honeymooners and couples. And we went, and we didn't stay together, if you're drawing that fan fiction up. But we still had a blast.
We had an amazing time. Besides the pigs, those pigs were evil, I thought.
Well, that was the funniest part, is when we went to Pig Beach and you got attacked by a pig. And
I got knocked over by like a 400-pound
pig.
pig.
Yeah, literally decked you.
He really. So that's your favorite Chris Corey story.
I remember distinctly, I was on the boat laughing, recording it on my phone, and then you got back to the boat and you were very upset that I didn't help get this pig off of you.
Was I upset about that?
Yeah, you're pretty upset about it.
I mean, you're my boy. Like, you should have been there with me
But
when.
it was so funny.
So you were more worried about recording the pig.
I had to get the shot.
You had to get the shot.
I had to get the story that goes back to me being a journalist.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, that was a really fun time. And again, it goes back to your WUG, because we sort of overcame the situation that we were in that could have been soups awkward for most
How are we WUG with a 400-pound pig?
No, I'm saying we were WUG being like 2 dudes hanging out at a resort for honeymooners.
Yeah, that
was
was
like a couple.
and having a blast, by the way.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, and then we did get to see that couple get married. Remember? On the beach?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We made sure everybody had a good time. We kind of kept...
We kept the party going. We kept the party going. Yeah. Okay, so my favorite Derrik Lang story that is suitable for a podcast. Thank you. Is actually from the same trip.
Okay.
All right. You were like, Chris, let's go snorkeling. You remember this?
I remember snorkeling,
Yeah, and I like touched the water with 1 foot, and I was like, that shit is freezing.
Yeah, it was cold.
It was freezing. And you were like, I'm going anyway. And you went, and when you came out, I've never seen such misery on somebody's face because you were freezing. And you know what? I loved the courage to get into like freezing temperature water.
Well, look. Who knows when we were going to be back there? It was gorgeous. I had the whole lagoon to myself.
True.
So, yeah. I was freezing, but I wasn't miserable, though.
You look pretty miserable.
I mean, I was cold, but I wasn't miserable. I mean, I was in the Bahamas, in this...
It was definitely not a bad day.
No.
Whatsoever. Okay. What's next for American Way? I always like to give you guys a chance to plug what's next for American Way, or what's next for Derrik Lang.
Yeah, well, so I've been with American Way for 2 years almost. It's a totally new team. We redesigned the magazine. We do all original photo shoots now. The content is just like much more timely, much fresher, hipper. And we've been doing that for 2 years. And I think going into 2019, you're going to see some things change in the magazine. things move quickly. We live in an age of social media where you can sort of rebrand and redesign things like that.
Yeah, I kind of know about that stuff.
Yeah, so we're going to switch some things up. So you've already seen we had like an essay section in the middle. And it was like kind of okay. We'd had celebrities sort of write about trips and things like that. So we've already kind of redesigned that. It's called On the Spot now. So it's sort of medium-sized stories about travel and journeys and things like that.
Such a great company pitch. I love it.
Yeah, but
it's a company pitch.
I think we haven't really talked about it publicly yet, so you're getting sort of an experience.
No, yeah. That's exactly what I'm getting. All right, so I'm gonna do what's called a pivot, and we've talked about pivoting a million times. What if I funded a magazine and wanted you to be the senior editor? Would you do it? Yes or no?
Senior editor? No. I mean, I'd want to be the editor-in-chief or the editorial director. I got to think big, right?
But would you do it? But would you do it with me? Yes or no? Right now, would you do it? Yes or no?
I need to know more about that.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You know me. You know me as well as anybody. Would you do a magazine with me if I offered it right now?
TBH, I don't think I would.
Good.
I don't think I would.
Hey, that's, and I don't think I would, by the way, for us salespeople, means maybe.
Yes. No, that's great. No, that's totally true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, I love it. So,
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, write your pitch up, email it to me, I'll look it over.
I wasn't serious. I was just asking you a question.
Oh, damn, I thought we were going to start.
What would the magazine be about with our 2 minutes left, right? What would a magazine between Derrik Lang and Chris Corey be about?
Oh, I just think it'd be about crazy adventures and
yes, I love it. Traveling.
Yeah, traveling, hanging out. I mean, I'm sure you'd want an advice column in there so you could dispense all of your pearls of wisdom.
I have so many pearls of wisdom.
But here's the thing. If we call the magazine WUG the magazine, I'm out. I'm not doing it. We got to come up with a different name.
What if I stand still and say, no, it's the WUG magazine? Like, you're still going to be out?
I'll contribute.
You're going to contribute. That's that integrity in you that is the WUG, right? Because you're a true creative. I talk about true creatives a lot. I love true creatives, people that do not bend on their creative ideas. They don't care how much money you throw at them. They don't care about what bureaucracy they have in their companies. They stick to their creativity and their integrity, and I love it. And I love working with people like that, which is why I just offered you a magazine and then unoffered it.
Cool. Well, maybe when I come back to the podcast, we'll figure out what the magazine will be.
Does that mean I get you a second time?
I guess I just...
That's a yes. Yes, that's a yes. That's a yes. All right, I want to thank Camilla. Again, Camilla, will you get in the shot, please? Camilla is amazing, and I want to thank Derrik Lang, a really good friend of mine. Man, thank you so much. Really appreciate all of our conversations, especially the ones not on film. Episode 6 is complete. Thank you guys for turning in to the WUG, even though Derrik doesn't like the WUG, but I think he likes the WUG now. So we're good to go. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.